All right, welcome in everyone to your weekly dose of side quest TLDR gaming news for the last week. We actually had a lot of news articles drop in the past week, so we're excited to talk about them. As always, I'll take questions at the very end of the video and as well give you guys the updates of what's happening for the rest of the week. So first off, before we get started, we do have to do our channel member shoutouts. So thank you to our tier 4 as well as tier 5 channel members whose support goes a great deal in helping me continue to make content like this. So big thank you to Trainer Ether 7, Devin Weld, Jerry, Ucha Madara, Nightmare Warrior, K Roberts, Z Shadow Dragons, Oscar Young, Padam Vlogger, as well as Phantom Manager, Mike Osborne, Catholic Queen, CJ Turner, Dina, Positive Sarcasm, Fast Vlogs, as well as Austin. Thank you to all our tier 4 and 5 channel members. If you guys want to learn more about channel memberships, as always, you can find them in the link in the description below. But let's get right to the news for this past week. So I did a dedicated video on this yesterday, giving you guys my general thoughts of the delay of Breath of the Wild 2. It's been pushed to spring 2023. Not gonna go too far in depth with it because I did a dedicated video. You can look for the video in your channel subscriptions if you guys want to learn my thoughts about basically, the delay, what I think about it. Next up we have, so Bandai Namco, our friends over at Bandai Namco, living off that Elden Ring high, you know? Elden Ring, obviously a gigantic financial success, lacing the pockets of Bandai Namco as well as From Software, and they are reinvesting that money and building on a Bandai Namco Gundam Metaverse. The biggest thing, the biggest thing I took away from this is that it's gonna incorporate different levels, and one of them is gonna allow you to scan your Gunpla or your Gundam figures that you make out of kits and basically battle one another. So there's literally an entire series, Gundam series, of this exact same thing, where the whole premise of the story is that people build Gundam figures, and the better quality you make it, the better Gundam is, and then they battle each other. So we're not there quite yet. We're not quite there yet in terms of like holodeck technology, but it's a right step. My only concern is that in terms of market capital, Bandai Namco isn't the richest company in the world. If I were to say, like, if you wanted a company that I would get excited if they were doing this, like Facebook, Google, like, you need that Google money. We all need that Google money. Bandai Namco doesn't have it, so I'm kind of a little bit sus on how this is going to work out, but we'll see. Anyways, next up we have, so the no build feature of Fortnite that was introduced a couple weeks ago turns out to be a massive success, so much that there is going to be a permanent fixture in Fortnite that has no building whatsoever. So yeah, no building in Fortnite, permanent thing now. So if you're interested in that, then go keep playing Fortnite. Keep going playing Fortnite. Backing track to our good friends over at Activision-Blizzard. So if you guys have probably followed the news for the last several months, that basically Activision-Blizzard has been, even after the acquisition from Microsoft, that they have been embroiled in a sexual harassment lawsuit, basically claiming that the company has a frat boy culture that wasn't very inclusive of the female population. So they have settled for $18 million. I find this is interesting though, because usually settlements at this level, it's settlements for an undisclosed amount of money. That's usually the kind of like the go-to. Anytime you talk about lawsuits and settlements, both sides agree to a price, and usually that's kind of hidden. I think that the whole point of making this public is that they really want to draw attention to it, and the best way you draw attention to it is to slap it in the face with an actual finite number. So I think that's a really big win for all the people involved in this sexual harassment lawsuit, and full props that they actually worked out the deal, that they were able to basically put a number to exactly how much it was worth. So anyways, That's 18 schmil for all the ladies out there, which is greatly appreciated. And finally, we're going to move into the big S. We're going to be talking about Sony for the rest of this video. First things first is that we have the games for April for PlayStation Plus. I have not heard of any of these except for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I've never heard of Hood, Outlaws and Legends, or Slay the Spire. But if you're into SpongeBob, you can get your SpongeBob fix with 3 games. I find it interesting that there's only 3 games this month. And also one thing as well, one game that is leaving PlayStation Plus is Persona 5. It leaves the PlayStation 5 Plus collection on May 11th. So Persona 5 is a very long game. It's a very long game. So if you're in the middle of playing it via PlayStation Plus, you might want to finish it before May 11th, because on May 11th, Persona 5 is leaving PlayStation Plus. So anyways. Okay, big news for the week. I also did a video kind of like teasing this because it was actually leaked information from our friends over at Bloomberg News. So let's agree to be cordial, because you get a nice shot of my dirty plate right here from lunch. Well, actually, that was last night's dinner. I know this is like futility. I'm gonna put this out there. I am more of a PlayStation fan than I'm an Xbox fan. If you guys follow the channel, you guys know that I play the majority of my games on PlayStation. So, anyone calling me an Xbox fanboy obviously has no idea what they're talking about. I'm just putting it out there. You have no idea. You have no clue. You don't get it. I am an honest person, though. I always give you guys my honest opinion and my honest viewpoint of everything about the video game industry. PlayStation Plus, the new PlayStation Plus, broken down into all these tiers. It's complicated. It's complicated because there are 3 different tiers of exactly what you need to choose from to buy. Opposed to, let's just say, I'm Timmy. I'm Timmy going up to your mom saying, "Mom, I need $180 to pay for Game Pass. I am good for the year. I'm good. That's it. I need $180 for the year to pay for Game Pass. I don't have to buy any games for the rest of the year. I don't have to pay any extra. I get all the games that are launching day 1 with Xbox Game Pass on launch, as well as the huge collection of Xbox games on the system. That's it. That's it. It's clean. It's simple. It's straight to the point. I invest my $180. I'm good for the entire year. PlayStation, this tier system. First off, let's just talk about breaking everything down. So PlayStation Plus Essential. That's basically what you have now with PlayStation Plus. Nothing else in terms of where PlayStation Plus is right now. Okay, so that's basically the stay as it is for $60 a month. PlayStation Plus Extra is the tier that just doesn't make sense. I don't know why this tier exists whatsoever. It's kind of like in between the 2 tiers. But if you really want the benefits of the full PlayStation experience with all the older games, you're just going to bypass this tier completely. The only thing it gives you is the PlayStation 4 games as well as PlayStation 5 games. No older games whatsoever. So this is the tier that we want to talk about. This is the tier that fully combines PlayStation Plus as well as all the old games that you can download, except for PlayStation 3, because PlayStation 3 emulation, based on how PlayStation 3 games were coded, because of the crazy cell technology that was the PlayStation 3 era that developers absolutely hated. PlayStation 3 games were extremely difficult to port over and code. So it's PlayStation 3 games are only stream only. You cannot download it directly to your system. That may change as things progress, but that's where we are. So the PlayStation Plus premium service of the third of the three gives you the PlayStation Now services, the PlayStation Plus services, streaming of older games, as well as the access to the library of PlayStation 4 as well as PlayStation 5 games. So caveat is it's not day one. So it is not day one for AAA titles, unlike Game Pass. And no one is claiming. So first off, I want to talk about how all this news was dropped. So all this news, like anytime you talk about like the introduction of a new service, there's usually a little bit more oomph to the announcement. There's usually like attached to a press conference or maybe a video on a state of play. They literally dropped this news in a blog post. Blog post, guys. Blog post to introduce major changes to your services. So I think that can kind of give you a little bit of an idea of how excited Sony was to introduce all this news. I think they realized they're not Game Pass. They are not Game Pass. They don't strive to be Game Pass. And if they tried to hype it up as much as they possibly could have wanted, then they probably it would have just fallen flat altogether. Yeah, exactly. They know it's not that great. It's just the reality of they wanted to combine both services together. And let's just take a look at the comparison of exactly what you get via Game Pass. Actually, let's talk about the fact that there's no AAA titles that's going to be on launch. So this kind of goes back into understanding that Microsoft, Xbox has all the money in the world. They have God's money. And you can't, when you're playing behind the 8 ball, let's just face it, Xbox is behind right now. They are playing behind the ball. You can't offer a similar service to catch up or surpass. You have to try to claw back market share. And that could possibly mean releasing services and releasing games at a loss in order to claw back that market share. Sony doing a fantastic job with their games division. Sony as a company overall does not have infinite capital and infinite resources like Xbox has. So, and they acknowledge this, that basically we can't release our AAA games on a single service at launch because it's financially not feasible. And PlayStation's head Jim Ryan basically said if we were to try to do that, it would place too much pressure on our studios and it would take away from basically the development of these games because there'd be just too much pressure. So we have to understand that. But even though they're trying not to be Game Pass, I think it's reasonable to assume that when we take two services to compare them together, two competing companies, you need to kind of form similarities of exactly what each is offering. So I think it's fair. It's fair to try to create some correlations between Xbox Game Pass as well as PlayStation Plus, but it's not the same. It's not the same because they don't have those day one releases. So if you want a comprehensive breakdown of exactly what you get and what don't you get with Xbox Game Pass versus PlayStation Plus, as well as the very cute Nintendo Online, IGN has posted a graphic as here. One thing that I'm kind of sad about is that in order to have cloud saves, you actually have to have some sort of PlayStation Premium service, at least with the essential services, whereas you get it free. Cloud saves are free with Game Pass. Or sorry, not with the Game Pass, but like you don't even have to have a subscription service to have cloud saves on Xbox. So I think that's I don't know, maybe this will change. But anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much my general thoughts on exactly what is going on. Once again, the fact that it was placed as a blog post to announce this service, I think is kind of telling of how excited PlayStation is. You have to keep in mind also maybe it was also maybe there wasn't as much noise around it or as much fanfare around it because it was leaked last week. But I feel like this is the type of thing that you really should make it clear and be a little bit more excited about changing the services to your platform. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a confusing system. I don't think that anyone who is invested in the system is ever gonna pay for PlayStation Plus Extra. I think you just go straight, you either just keep the services you have with PlayStation Plus Essential, or if you want the streaming services, you go of all the games, you go straight to PlayStation Premium. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's it. We'll take questions. As the questions come in, I will give you guys an update. So shortly after the stream, we will be playing Elden Ring, continuing it. We're near the end, but the end is the most difficult part of the game. So I think we have like 2 or 3 bosses left. So we will continue playing Elden Ring. And then we also have, I'm gonna try to beat Ghostwire Tokyo tonight as well. I'm pretty sure I'm fairly close to the end of that game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Played 8 hours of Genshin Impact last night. I will be posting this in a formal video for the channel that just updates for the channel for next month. Is that live streams will be a channel member perk. So live streams will be in the future will only be able to be viewed in VOD form for channel members. I will still be uploading the videos on YouTube edited down with Facecam. I was gonna try to post that update video beginning of April, but I thought it was a bad idea to post an update video so close to April Fool's Day. So that update video for the channel will probably be up sometime next week. So yeah, questions, concerns, let me know. We're chatting here. Yes, continuing on, Elden Ring will always be no summons. Probably the Elden Ring stream will probably start in like a half hour or so, I would guess. Will we be upgrading to the... No, I probably won't. I'll probably just stay on PlayStation Essential. I don't generally play older games at all, and as I want to say this, as like, I understand games are expensive, but as a YouTube person, I usually don't buy that many games because I can usually get a review code for it from the publishers directly, so it doesn't make feasible sense for me to pay for the new PlayStation service. But if I were to get it, I would definitely go with the premium service. Yeah, the middle tier doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The PlayStation Plus Extra tier, the second middle tier, it doesn't offer much. Like, if you were into PlayStation Now and you want the older games, you have to go to PlayStation Premium. And yeah. Isn't Nightmare Warrior... Whoa, Nightmare Warrior with the... Yo, that's a sweet icon. I think that's a sweet icon, Nightmare Warrior. I can't post captions. Like, if YouTube automatically does the caption Nightmare Warrior for me, obviously that's awesome. But if it's not automatically posted, I don't have time to manually write them. Yeah, there's not a definitive list of all games yet for what exactly is going to be available on PlayStation Plus Premium. Also, that they haven't offered a time frame where, because obviously the AAA games are not going to be released at launch. So, but they also didn't offer like a general time window when AAA games will be launched, when they will actually arrive to PlayStation Plus Extra as well as PlayStation Plus Premium. I think that's a strategic thing, because let's just say God of War Ragnarok comes out and they say if you get the premium service, you will get it 3 months after God of War after God of War Ragnarok comes out. You're pretty much just sinking your sales and tanking your sales immediately, because people, if they know that it's going to be coming to PlayStation Premium eventually or PlayStation Extra eventually, then people are just not going to buy at launch day. So in an ideal world, consumer friendly world, they should set like a time window of when the AAA games will eventually come to the premium and extra services, but just market wise doesn't make sense, because you would just tank day one sales. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for coming to SideQuest for this week. Do you think whenever the PlayStation VR 2 comes out, they will put PlayStation VR 2 compatibles? Yeah, I could see it. I could see them play. I'm not a huge person to VR, but I could see them. I could see them adding it to their library. Skelly, next game is Lego the Skywalker series, the Skywalker Saga. I'm gonna be playing that next. Trying to get through all the games done. It's gonna be a massive game, so I actually got my review code for it today. So I'm gonna be playing that next, and then as well as trying to just experiment with more different types of videos on the channel. Just to keep doing what I'm doing, basically. Yeah, you're pretty much Phantom Wolf. If you won't be able to buy PlayStation Now separately, you have to go straight to PlayStation Plus Premium if you want the ability to play older PlayStation games, which it's kind of sucks, but I think that they posted that the 3/4 of the people who have PlayStation Now already have the PlayStation Plus service. So it's unfortunate that you won't be able to buy them separately, but yeah. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll look forward to the streams later today. As always, great thank you